What is going on, guys, and welcome to another gear review. Today we'll be talking about the Haglof's Rugged II Mountain Pants. These are a soft shell slash just kind of generic climbing, mountaineering, and hiking pant. They're advertised on the website for about 150 euros, 200 euros, $200. I bought mine for, I think, 200 francs, so $200, and I think that's what you can kind of expect to pay for these pants. Personally, I think they're worth it. After shopping around for a while, at the beginning of last summer, I guess, or at the beginning of this summer, I really considered a bunch of options. I looked at Patagonia, I looked at Arc'teryx, I looked at Salomon, I looked at Mammoth, and I looked at Haglofs, and I ended up choosing these for a variety of reasons, mostly feature-wise. I think when you're looking at soft shell pants around this price range, around $200, they're all kind of made of the same material and offer the same, maybe comfort, I guess, but I think just generally, comfort, weather resistance, and whatnot. But these pants stand out in a couple of different ways. So let's talk about it. Starting at the top, we have waistband adjustments, which are Velcro. And then you have these sort of elastic pulls, which really go through a lot of the pant. So this is elastic, and then this is just fabric. And it really does pull in all this material. So these work fairly well. Obviously, you need a place to secure them over here, so you could, I guess, tighten them up this really tight, but I would not advise it. I keep mine more or less all the way on the Velcro just because I don't have a huge waist. Although I will note, actually, with these pants, I got these in the small, which is basically like a European medium. That's usually what I wear in sizes, especially tops and whatnot. These do size a little bit small on the waist. So I had originally bought an extra small because that's, like looking at the conversion chart, I'm a 46, I guess. And that's what it told me to get, 46 or 36. I don't know. Either way, I'm a 6 something. And so looking at the conversion chart, it made sense for me to get an extra small. And I ended up having to exchange it for the small. The small, which is it's no longer than the extra small, but it does have a wider waist and inseam. So that's why I got this one. Anyway, you've got adjustments on both sides. Nothing too special there. Those are nice if you really don't want to be wearing a belt. If you're doing some climbing stuff and the belt kind of interferes with the harness. For me, I have like a belt that I like to wear for mountaineering and stuff that I wear even with a harness. I just have a weirdly shaped lower body, and so if I don't wear a belt, I feel like they're always falling off. They're not. I actually read about these somewhere that they kind of feel like they're falling off even though they're not. But regardless, I like wearing a belt. That's kind of all for the waistband. I will note that this pant in general, the construction uses a variety of different materials with different properties throughout the pant. So on the butt as well as on the knees, you have this sort of neoprene stretch material, which is more flexible than the rest and is also, I just feel, more comfortable. The way they did this is really smart, and I really have to commend them on this and say they did a really good job, because when I was moving around, having to climb obstacles, having to raise your legs, like above what you would usually do, I found these to be very comfortable. I found them to not restrict my movement, and I didn't feel like the crotch or the butt was going to blow out at some point. So that was really nice of them. I feel like they've done a good job in terms of material placement. So just keep that in mind. If you have an issue with that, I would have to say that these do a really good job of it. On the back, you have one zip pocket, fairly standard, nothing too special here. Material is standard. I don't really like putting anything in my back pocket unless it's my wallet, and when I'm out in the mountains, my wallet is in my bag. So yeah, I don't usually put anything in here. The primary pockets that I use when I'm out and about in the mountains are these two pockets. The standard waist pockets for your hands, first of all, they're not zipped, which when you're out and about, you want to have zip pockets. And also, I had these pants ride a little bit higher, like just underneath my belly button, I guess. Maybe, yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, and as a result, it just was like, these were a little bit bent, I guess. Yeah, anyway, they were not comfortable to have anything in. So I always use these. The stitching on these pockets, these are big pockets. Like I can fit my whole hand, you know, because these go all the way here. And they have this stitching here that allows them to remain flat when they're not in use, as you can see with this fold here. And when they are in use, they kind of expand out. Very nice design, very well thought out, very happy with these. These I use all the time, these pockets. The camera, this is not the camera I'm filming on, but the camera that I usually film with when I'm outside, which is a Garmin Verb Ultra 30. So it kind of has the same form factor as a GoPro 5, I guess. That would fit in this pocket, even with the kind of big volume it has. So very happy there. If we now look at the side, we have these huge zippers, very big. What these are for is for ventilation. Now, these pants, when you look at interviews with Hageloff guys and you look online, a lot of people will say that these are really warm. Personally, I found these to be fairly warm and perfect to wear up on some summits. Even, you know, I mean, this was late summer, and the highest I did with these was so far has been 3,500 meters. And so when we were up there, up on the summit, it was not warm. It was windy, it was cold, and it was a little bit rainy. And these held up really well. They're water repellent. I've never been in like a full rainstorm with them. And as a general rule of thumb, if I go in a rainstorm, I always put on my rain pants over whatever pants I'm wearing generally. But these have held up fine so far. I've been in some snow, in some mud, in some light rain, and honestly I have to say that they've been very nice. But when you're not in bad weather, when you're especially on the ascent portion of any mountain, and you're in the lower section, so when it's still pretty warm, these come in really handy. These big aeration vents open up sort of from this, like your knee sort of sits around here. So they open up from your, like most of your thigh basically, which is usually where you feel the warmest. And they do a really good job of airing out. I will say though, when you're walking, you want to kind of try and orient these into the wind flow. Because if you're walking, like if the wind is coming from this way or something, then you're not going to be getting a whole lot of air just because these kind of have a tendency to close. However, once the wind hits these, the air feels amazing. Like it'll really feel like it's going down your whole leg, and it feels sublime. I wore these, like I said, in late summer, early fall. I had no problems with them. I was a little warm around the lower sections, but when I say a little warm, like I really, you know, it was not a huge deal. And usually I'm not somebody who feels cold to begin with. So I would say that these are perfect for late summer. I would say if you're going to be doing some like super warm, super hot outings or whatever, I would say think about other pairs of pants. But I think most people realize that like these are going to be for, you know, the higher, you know, if you're a little bit up in the mountains. So for me, I think these are perfect because, you know, when you do the original upper ascent portion, you're going to be a little warm, and then once you hit some good altitudes with proper temperatures, you'll be fine. Very nice feature, which is kind of random. Well, not random. It's well thought out, and it's a detail that I really appreciate. And you can see that there is some attention to detail with these pants. When you zip these closed, they zip downwards. Now, they're kind of difficult to open, to zip upwards when you're wearing the pants. Like you have to stop and open them up. But once you get too cold, you know, once you're maybe really getting into your ascent, you've got some wind, you've got some bad weather, they're really quick to zip down, just because it's easier to do when you're standing up. It's a small detail, it's something that I appreciate, and I don't even know, maybe they didn't do it on purpose for that reason, but I'd imagine they did. They did a really good job. Moving down, you can see the change in fabric. You have this knee, let me see if I can get a better view of this. You have this knee section, which is made of that neoprene sort of material that you saw on the back as well, which kind of comes in this section here. And it is also stitched, as you can see, to bend. So it does have a sort of pre-form to it. These have been folded in my closet now for a couple days. So the pre-form is not as obvious, but when you put them on, they feel really nice. Like they feel natural, they don't feel weird. I know, like, you know, sometimes with mountaineering pants, They just don't work. These work really nicely. Another thing to note, I got these pants in all black. They are available in like a greenish color, and I believe the knee parts are black and then the rest is green, or maybe it's the other way around. They kind of look like the Fjallraven pants. That's nothing special. I mean, it's nothing bad. It's just to note that if you get these in the green color, there will be a contrast. I wanted these to be a little bit more low-key, just kind of plain, so that's why I got them in all black, and I like that they offer that option. That's about it for the knee. As you can see, this part is where your kneecap should be, more or less, and this is kind of where the zipper starts. I will say, these did not interfere with my knees at all. You know, I was kind of expecting them maybe to be a little weird. No, they were perfect. They were fine. Very happy with these. These I actually leave open most of the time, just for some air, and then once I'm a little cold, I close them up. Moving down, we have another material switch to the standard material, and then one more material switch to this sort of Dyneema material, I guess. It's the same material you have on ski pants on the inside, and this is, you know, that's the purpose it's for, is to protect against things like crampons and just the general abrasion from your legs rubbing together, especially mountain boots and whatnot. And as you can see, this is where it's the dirtiest. I tried washing these. I mean, I washed them really lightly, just because I was walking in some like clay mud up in the mountains. Like it was mud that was made out of shingles. It was really weird. And I didn't do a good job washing these. They do wash fine, I will say that. So you have this Dyneema material, which is designed there to protect it. The Hageloff pants, one of the things they're known for is lasting a long time. So I've only had these for 3 or 4 months, I guess. So I can't attest to whether these are going to last me 10 years, but they do feel really well. They do feel really solid, sorry, and I have no complaints so far. So I'd imagine these are going to last a long time. Moving down, we have one of the key pieces of this pant. It's one of the reasons I got these, and it is the sort of adjustment of the cuff here. I don't know if you call this a cuff of the pant leg. I don't know. Regardless, you have this little plastic buckle here, which allows you to cinch down the leg, and I believe the cord goes through most of the leg, at least a fair part of it. And this allows you to tighten the pant around your boots. It's a really nice feature. This is something I was looking for. It was, for me, like the pant I got absolutely had to have this, or at least some kind of method of cinching down around the boot. Most pants do, not all of them do, and for me that was kind of one of the big points. I will say, and you should be able to see this here. Let me check if you can see that. There we go. There is a fair amount of scratching on it. Now I've used these pants fairly roughly, which is to say, like, I haven't babied them because I hate babying my gear. And obviously there has been some scratches. Now this part of the buckle faces outwards, so when you're wearing this, this kind of faces. What would I say? This is like right. If this is your foot, that's this would be the left foot. It's kind of here. Anyway, that's just to say that it's not really exposed to anything, and so far I've not had any problems with these. But you know, I don't know if this is really going to last me 5 years. I haven't had any problems with it, like I said, so I don't want to speak preemptively. And I can understand why they use plastic, because metal, you know, down on the cuff of the pant, metal is going to rust. Like it's inevitable. This part of the pant is often going to be wet, so it seems to make sense that they'd use plastic. But yeah, I don't know how this is going to look. Hopefully, if it breaks, this would be something that they'd honor in the warranty. Yeah, I don't know. But regardless, it works fine for now, so I'm just going to say I'll give a word of warning and say that's a note, but I think it'll be fine. On the inside, you see this little pocket, and this holds a gaiter clip, or like a lace clip, I guess you could say. And it's really hard to get out. This would be one of my complaints with this, if there's any. It's that, like, I wish they'd put it on some kind of elastic or something. But there is a lace clip here, which functions just like a gaiter. I use this a little bit. To be very honest with you guys, I always bring along gaiters if I'm going into territory that would require it, like really high snow or something, just because whatever you're wearing, whatever is touching the snow is going to be wet, and so I'd rather it be gaiters than be my pants. Even though I would probably trust these to go in some fairly decent snow, I just prefer the gaiters bear the brunt of it. So that's kind of how I I view it. But you know, in a pinch, or if you just hate gaiters for whatever reason, you can always use these, use this clip as a substitute for that. And that kind of finishes up the features of this pant. I would say, you know, the main features of this pant are the gaiter clip, the cuff adjustment, the ventilation ports on either side of the leg, and these big pockets here, as well as the excellent material choice and stitching and construction that has gone into this pant. I would say that those are really the highlight of this pant and make it good, make it worthwhile, and have made me happy to have purchased this. As far as use is concerned, like I said, this is going to be a sort of higher mountain pant. I would not wear this for, you know, very, very long hiking, but like in warm environments. I would probably wear something lighter. That having been said, I've gotten a lot of use out of these pants, not only in mountaineering contexts, and I'm very happy with them. They are fairly warm, but not too much. So if you're going into cold territory, you can just supplement them with one pair of long johns or two pair of long johns. And if you're going into warmer territory, you can just kind of zip these up this way, like I said, and they should be fine. The wear on these pants is fairly standard. I've used these, like I said, in like a normal fashion. I haven't babied them, and so far they seem to be holding up well. Hageloff is a brand which is progressively gaining in popularity. I know that they're becoming a rival to Mammoth here in Switzerland, and I can see why. They make good quality stuff. Overall, it's fairly satisfying, and I really don't have any complaints about these pants. Like, I would love to make the review longer, but there's not a whole lot to say. These are great pants. If you're on the fence about buying these, all I can say is I think they're worthwhile. You know, $200 for a piece of gear like this, I think is perfectly reasonable. I probably wouldn't pay like much more for these pants, but as a general rule of thumb, I don't want to be paying, you know, $700 for a pair of pants. So I would say these are great pants. If you're thinking about buying them, get them. There are a lot of choices when it comes to pants, even on Hageloff's website. They don't have, like, there's other pieces of gear on Hageloff's where I find that they don't have enough choice. For example, backpacks. And in terms of pants, they have everything. So, you know, I would say I'm happy with these. Get them. As usual, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And check out my other videos if you're happy with this kind of style review. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you soon. Bye-bye.